Hi, I'm Rhonda with Keto South, and I have been on keto, the keto diet, since the beginning of 2016, and it has been the most amazing diet for me. It's revolutionized my life and actually my family, because I'm just a different person, and I'm so excited about it. I feel like I can't stop smiling these days. But one thing that I've really blossomed is in the kitchen. I've always loved cooking, but trying to cook low fat, which is what I thought I had to do, just wasn't fun, because the times that I really loved cooking was when I was cooking things that I grew up on, and making memories with my family and remembering memories that I'd made with my grandparents and my mom. And so I think that's what keto has kind of brought back, is using some of the things that I grew up on, like bacon grease and butter, and cooking things from the garden, and just making memories and enjoying the food and seeing that it's working, and I feel better than ever. I've lost, at this point, June 25th, I've lost 53 pounds, and I've got a ways to go, but I'm just loving what keto is doing. So I wanted to share some of my recipes, because what I've noticed is that when I talk about some of the things I make, and I always share my food because I'm so excited about it. So when I take it to work and share it with friends, they're like, how do you do this? Because the taste, and most of it is the fat because it's so much flavor, but the taste makes it taste like I've spent hours in the kitchen, which is really not the case. It's super easy and you can do it, and I want you to see how easy it is. So I'm gonna do mashed cauliflower. This was one of the first things that I wanted to perfect, because I'm a Southern girl and I grew up on mashed potatoes and gravy with cream and butter and all of those wonderful things. So mashed cauliflower can be that same texture, creamy butter, and it's so good, and I wanted to show you. All right, so you'll start with cauliflower. I was I was intimidated by using cauliflower and cutting it because of this big stem, and I just kind of started cutting, and I realized it gets easier every time. So you just kind of do a rough chop. And you'll hear the music in the background. That's one thing that's important to me, is setting an atmosphere in the kitchen, setting an atmosphere of a place I want to be. So, if I continue to do these videos, you'll hear music, you'll hear kids, and that's my life, and that's how I like it. So I have music, or sometimes my favorite movie that I know all the lines, and I'll just kind of have it in the background while I'm cooking, or I'll sing along to things. And it's just kind of making it to a place that you want to be. All right, so I'm cutting this up, and then I'm going to do a quick rinse and just kind of a rough chop, because what we're going to do is boil this, and boil it until it's fork tender, very similar to what you would expect from potatoes. All right. I'm going to do a quick rinse. All right, and then I add it to a pot and fill it up with water and boil. So it's super easy. And then I would fill this up with water. I'm not going to take the time to do that because I've already made another batch to kind of get to that step. So then after it's boiled, fork tender, and you drain it, clear this off. The next step is, when I explain this to people, they go, that sounds too hard, but let me show you. It's just super easy. You get a thin towel, and a thin, like a non-fuzzy towel, because you don't want fuzzies in your, or you can do cheesecloth. I have it, but even though, I always use the thin towel because it's just easier. So I pour the cauliflower into the towel, and then I do this over the sink because a lot of liquid comes out. Let me show you how strong I am. And I will tell you, just a little hint, get this cloth in the washer right after, because the next day this towel will stink. Cauliflower stinks. So just a gift from me to you, so that people come over and go, what's that smell? See how much liquid, I don't know if you can see it, but there's so much liquid coming out, which the first few batches of cauliflower, I did not do this. None of the recipes that I saw online had this step, but I saw this step when making a pizza crust with cauliflower, about getting the excess liquid out. And so I thought, if that works for that, I bet this would make because my cauliflower, my mashed cauliflower, would turn out real thin, and the flavor was still good, but it wasn't the texture of mashed potatoes. So I noticed that when I did this, it made a huge difference. So it's just maybe a minute, and I think that's good. So then, and you'll want to unfold this over a cutting board or something, because it's just a little messy, but nothing that can't be cleaned up. All right, so you've got all this mashed out. And then you just grab it, put it in your food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you can do a mixer, standing mixer, or use your hand mixer, whatever, again, that you would do with mashed potatoes. You could even use the masher by hand, because at this point you'll see the texture is really, really soft. And so now it's just a matter of getting the butter and cream or whatever you season it with. I've even made this, and then when I've used leftovers, kind of topped it with bacon and cheese and kind of done like a loaded baked potato kind of thing. All right, so that's good. We'll throw that over there. And then the best part, I do a stick of butter. So for every head of cauliflower that I use a stick of butter. And then I salt and pepper. Now I do this to taste. This battery is sounding sad. Okay. And I'll add more to taste, but this is just kind of a start here. All right, and then on we go. Let it go for a little bit, and then you'll open it and kind of stir it, get it from around the sides to make sure it's all mixing in good. See how this is looking. And then depending on the texture you like, some people like lumpy mashed potatoes. Some people like really smooth. So you honestly can get this to the texture that you like it at. I've always liked really smooth, and then I can eat them with or without gravy. So you just kind of do it until you get them to how you want them. And you can absolutely taste them along the way. Okay, I think one more and we're good to go here. I've served these to a lot of non-keto people, taken it to work. I've served it to my family that's come over, and everybody has really loved the flavor and the texture. And most people say, I cannot believe that's cauliflower, because it just, you still can sense a little bit of the cauliflower taste, but it's not overpowering at all. I think we're ready here. All right, and then, let's see, so you can see this. So this would be great for the 4th of July coming up with barbecues. You can do different things. I had some people over last week and did kind of an appetizer with just a little dish with some of the mashed cauliflower and some pork on top. And it was a great hearty appetizer for, when you're gonna have people over for hours. You can do it, like I said, like a loaded cauliflower, mashed cauliflower. It'd be great for holiday barbecues or holiday meals with family. So now you can see, and honestly, a head of cauliflower probably makes enough for 3 people. So if you've got a lot of people coming over, you want to do several batches. But you can see that it's not too runny. I mean, the texture is just like mashed potatoes, and it's super good. Okay, perfect. Love it. All right, have a great time. I hope you have a great day with your friends and family. And let me know if you try this mashed cauliflower and if you have some stories about how your friends and family loved it. All right, have a great day.